Hello.
Hi.
Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday. It is so warm. Oh my gosh. Ashleigh and I have been guzzling water. Ugh.
Hi, Umo. Hi, Jacob. How are you today? Happy Wednesday.
How are we all feeling? Prepared to take on the world?
Always.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know why my ears are always at like capacity.
I know.
I feel like our camera moved a little bit.
That's probably true.
Yeah. It's chill. Anywho.
We don't lock her down.
No, we can't.
For moments like this.
We can't hold her down. Poet.
Hello. Oh my
Hello.
goodness.
Hi, Belfry from Columbia. I'm Ashleigh. This is
Courtney.
Courtney, and we are CA in LA, and we are hosting the Cinema Collective. And thank you so much for tuning in.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah. How's your Wednesday? How's your week been? It's been a wild week for film news, and it was really wild putting together today's episode because we had everything laid out, and then yesterday, like end of business day, Sora announced that it was closing. So we wanted to make sure that we built in some time today to talk about that, because that's pretty significant. Like the video generation that like kind of started everything, really.
That was very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been really wild.
We got to talk about film all during pottery class. It was good. It was really good.
Hi,
Arco. Welcome in.
Uma, I really like those emotes. Those are fun.
Those are fun. I'm glad that they exist a little bit. It's not the same.
Oh, that's
but
fun
that's okay.
too. Partial to the color schemes here. Super curious to hear your thoughts. Jacob, I wanted to be respectful while also just being like, okay, what does this mean? You know? And I'm really curious to hear your thoughts as well, and to hear like the general consensus, because this is a pretty big development with OpenAI, and this is the first major OpenAI shutdown that we've seen. Mm-hmm. So
they've just been doubling down this whole time. So
yeah. So
what does it mean that someone's finally folded?
Yeah. Really, really interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and
let's jump in.
Get started. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So last week, hi, Courtney and Ashleigh. Is the string cheese ready?
Honestly, no. I don't know if it should be. Probably. Hi, JC.
Hi, JC. Happy Wednesday. How are you?
Okay. I love this. Today has been a truly luminous day, and my spirit is overflowing with a desire to learn from your magic, Ashleigh, and of course from the incredible Courtney as well. Well, thank you so much. We're so glad that you're here.
Love this. Okay, so last week we talked about some film updates. Courtney went over scene edit detection. That's what you used. Auto reframe and track matte keys. Hi, Wade.
Hi, Wade.
Happy day. Did you see Project Hail Mary in theaters, Wade? How about
Everyone's
you,
talking about it.
Yeah, that was the hot goss in pottery class last night. Everyone's like, did we see Ryan Gosling? I mean, Project Hail Mary. And then, so we did auto reframe, track matte, scene edit detection, and some film updates. And then our week 2 challenge was design a playlist photo. So we did. So we'll be releasing a new cover album real soon, and it's called Edit Away Message. We wanted to create this nostalgic vibe of like the 90s, 2000s AOL Away Message. And yeah, really excited about this. So got to play around with color, got to play around with text, and yeah, real hype.
Sadly, I haven't seen it yet and want to see it IMAX so bad. Oh, we hope you get to see it. I've not. They spoiled the book, so boycott. Oh my gosh.
I heard that it's a really great movie, and moviegoers agree. We'll get into that in just a little bit. I'm working with what I can. That's the way that you do it.
That is all that we can do until you're just ahead of the curve.
What's up, Vidor?
Hi.
Might catch it before it's off the theaters. Yeah, we're thinking about going and seeing it in IMAX because why not? The last IMAX film we saw was Freakier Friday. No shame.
I stand by it.
No shame.
I completely stand by it.
Happy Hump Day.
Yes.
I always imagine a camel. Marketing, it'll get to you. Okay, so our first chat question is, what is a movie that you would watch on repeat? Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries, Bottoms, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, Dan in Real Life, Booksmart, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
It's a pretty solid repeat even after you've just watched it.
Yeah.
Because it's just light.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Nice. Like you wouldn't want to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once back to back, probably.
Yeah.
No, it's just a lot, but it's beautiful.
Do the IMAX here require serious earplugs?
I believe it.
Wade, explain to me why when we go to the movies with certain groups of people, when we wear earphones or earplugs, they'll make fun of us. I'm like, well, you know, just because the audio is this loud, it doesn't mean that we have to listen to it this loud.
Because some of them are really loud. What was it? Was it Interstellar? That people had a really hard time seeing because of the audio?
I think so.
The volume shifts?
Yeah, they had to... they thought that it was a mistake, and Christopher Nolan was like, no, it's intentional.
It was intentional.
Cinefeo audio
up?
visual. Hello. How's your day?
We are having a great day. How are you?
They haven't heard about self-care. That's
right.
That's right. Earplugs at movies are so game changer.
Just do it for yourself. Oppenheimer. Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. Give me ear damage.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that way.
Joking. I know.
But it could.
You know that you're getting to be of a certain age when at live shows, earplugs.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. But also
Totally.
Coming from the serving industry or restaurant industry, in the kitchen, all that silverware dropping is really loud and painful to listen to. So we do what we can.
That's right.
Staying busy, that's good.
Okay. You're more than welcome to answer the question of what movie you could watch on repeat.
Yes, we'd love to hear.
We're going to go ahead and jump into new releases this week because I want some time for Sora and for the update with Warner Brothers. In a world of stories, I'd always find my way back to Gladiator. It's an epic strength and visual beauty never cease to inspire me. Nice. The original, not the remake.
Joaquin Phoenix in that, excellent. They are very loud. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing well, staying busy. Love to hear that. Okay, so Rizmod, he released this 6-episode series that I'm pretty sure all 6 episodes are available today on Amazon Prime. But it's a London-based actor suffers from an existential crisis and his life spirals out of control after auditioning for the role of a lifetime. So this is industry satire. So if you're a fan of concepts that are talking about the industry, i.e. the studio. And what was the show that got canceled on HBO Max that was so good that we loved?
Oh God, I see it.
Yeah,
I see it in my head. Anyway,
yeah, it's so this series, 6 episodes. It's a dark comedy, industry satire. He's chasing the role of James Bond, which is like really fitting because Amazon Prime has the rights to James Bond, and it's not going well. And this premiered at Sundance 2026. So really excited to see this one. Something very bad is going to happen for you horror fans out there. This is 8 episodes. It's got a lot of the icons of horror that make special appearances. It's executive produced under the Duffer Brothers, who did this little show called Stranger Things. And it was filmed in Toronto, but it's more psychological dread over jump scares. And the concept is a certain atmosphere of horror is felt the week before the celebration of an unfortunate wedding. There's a lot of people in this too. Premieres tomorrow on Netflix. So horror fans, check that out.
I love that it's a psychological dread.
Yeah.
Like, that's so good. That tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah. So For All of Mankind season 5.
Why are you skeptical about it, Jacob? And JC says, movies I could watch and repeat: Dirty Dancing, Double Jeopardy, The Shawshank Redemption, The Little Mermaid animated version, just to name a few. Nice. That's a nice spread.
Ones. Yeah. I think after Crystal Castle's concert and right up the side, never going to anything without earplugs, maybe it was Wolf Mother. Either way, ringing for days.
And you'll just get it in your daily life. You'll just be existing, and then you hear like everything gets quiet, and then
I love the hearing loss reminders.
Yeah.
Adore you and your friend. Be safe, and thank you for the lurk.
And thank you for yeah, I don't know if you're actually actively listening to the show right now, but if you are, thank you for listening. And everyone in the car, thank you for listening.
Okay. What Courtney said. I have to watch something horror. It's been ages since I have. Not the happiest with the Duffer Brothers late work. I feel that. Well, the good news is they executive produced it. So they didn't, it's not their project per se. They just produced it. So they put their name behind it and funded maybe, but just as like a banner. So while they had some say in it, I wouldn't necessarily credit them with the concept. So that's positive. I'm surprised they're still making For All of Mankind. Yes, so this is season 5. It is unveiling on Apple TV on March 27th, but all 4 seasons previously are available to watch. This will be released weekly because I know that some of us don't like that. So it is sci-fi, it's 10 episodes, and it takes place years after season 4, follows the expansion of Happy Valley into a thriving Martian colony with thousands of residents. Tensions rise as Earth's governments attempt to reassert law and order, while those living on Mars push for independence. What's up, Roger? Oh, hello. My goodness.
Oh, my
Roger,
goodness.
It's great to see you.
Welcome in.
We saw you in Sean's promo for his
did.
show.
How did it go? Sean is the best.
And you're the best. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome.
So I just learned the behind the scenes about this, that this is an alt history reimagining as if the space race never stopped, and that every season features a semi-significant time jump, which is good. It's good to know that going in.
Variety.
Yeah.
It's good watch, but I keep falling off with it for various reasons. That's fair.
Totally. 2 other concepts or 2 other shows that will be available on streaming are Homicide New York, season 2, and it's produced by Dick Wolf, who does Law and Order, but it's a true crime series where each episode of the 5 episodes follows an individual case. And I was really surprised at some of the cases that they chose to follow, but it's cases from the 1980s to the 2000s. So a little bit of variety of the stories that they cover, and it's good. It looks really good for the overview. So Homicide New York, that's available March 25th today on Netflix. And then Heartbreak High, also available on Netflix today. 8 episodes. It's season 3. This is the final season. And it is a gritty, modern reimagining of the 1990s Australian teen drama, focusing on the chaotic, diverse lives of students at Hartley High as they navigate relationships.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are very different.
A little bit of variety. So highlighting what's in theaters this week, because a lot of people are starting to go back to the movies, which is really exciting. Thank goodness. So
this is good.
I know we highlighted it last week, but I have to highlight it again because we'll talk about this in a little bit. In new film news, Project Hail Mary is breaking records. This is the highest grossing and biggest opening of any film in 2026 so far, which is fantastic. It's a sci-fi adventure that rings in at 2 hours and 36 minutes and is based off a book. Don't watch the trailer because it spoils it. Just go in and have a great time. And then Ryan Gosling. And then They Will Kill You, which was at South by Southwest. It's a horror action at an hour 35, and a woman answers a cryptic ad for a housekeeping job at a luxurious yet foreboding New York City high-rise. Upon arrival, she discovers residents have vanished without a trace for decades, fueling whispers of a satanic occult lurking in the shadows. What's really fun is that I have a sensitivity blocker on my browser, and it wouldn't let me look at any of the images for this movie. So
that's amazing.
If that tells you anything, that it's sensitive.
I guess I recently dived into Homicide New York. Can't wait for the new season. Nice. Okay, so you're excited about that. And we're caught up on Paradise. It's been fun so far. Nice. That is an interesting choice of words for Paradise.
Or caught up on Paradise.
Is it? Okay, so we stopped at the pilot because we were like a little too close to home, need to take a step back. But is it as good as season 1?
Yeah, interested.
We loved season 1.
Both of these movies look interesting. We're debating going to see Project Hail Mary in IMAX. Highly recommend it. Everyone has been talking about it in our lives, to the point that we weren't considering going to see it. And now we're like, are we going to regret not seeing this in IMAX and in theaters? If you are going to the movies this fine week, another couple films for you to check out. On March 27th, Stand By Me will be back in theaters for a limited re-release.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's an adventure comedy and comes in at an hour 29. And it's a writer recounts a childhood journey with his friends to find the body of a missing boy. Really iconic film if you haven't seen it. And then the AI doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. This film went to Sundance and won a ton of awards, and the Daniels also helped produce this. It's following the existential risks and potential benefits of artificial intelligence. Following a father-to-be, the film examines the future of humanity through expert interviews with figures like Sam Altman and Daniela Amodia, balancing fear with hope.
We saw Adobe did a talkback with the director's producer and I believe one of the editors, if I'm not mistaken, that we got to see, which was very, very cool.
Yeah. So check that out.
And they just really loved saying apocalyptimist.
Makes sense. Like,
don't say it 5 times fast.
What a name. It's heading in an interesting direction.
Okay.
Wait, did you hear about Sora?
We are also heading in an interesting direction.
We're almost there. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I've tried not to add commentary to every slide, but I actually do want to add They Will Kill You, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
She just did an interview, and when she first auditioned, she didn't get it, and she knew. She was like, okay, I have to go back. And she redid her tape a few times. She's like, I have to be in this role. I have to do it. And she talked to her casting agent, and they did many different versions of her audition, and then they were like, all right, that's the one. Then she did a chem read, and she got it. Awesome.
A chemistry
So never
read.
take no as the first step if you're auditioning. I mean, also she's very established, but that's really awesome that she was able to be like, we are redoing this. It didn't feel good. And then...
Can you imagine being like a no-name though, and you get the notification back, hey, we didn't choose you. And then you're like, no, I'm going to resubmit my reel. And you're like, no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, she's also got a team.
No, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
That would
It's
be
just
amazing.
That's funny to think about it at like a practical level of like how that play.
It's the same way as getting casted from being an extra. You know, same like odds.
Yeah. Okay. They love that Brad Pitt story at Extras casting.
It really is incredible. Okay.
Also, she's very established. So as we are saying, Project Hail Mary exceeded box office projections, opening to 140.9 million worldwide, with 80.5 million being domestic. This is the biggest film debut of 2026, which, you know, everyone starts taking away things, even if it's the wrong thing. But the main takeaway is that is there a lane for family-friendly sci-fi films? Maybe. And HBO's Harry Potter released their first look above, and then the trailer drops tomorrow, featuring Dominic McLaughlin as the new Harry Potter, and Mark Mylod, who did Succession, is directing this, which is interesting, but it's supposed to be a 2027 premiere for HBO.
I just don't know if this is going to do well.
I don't either.
I can't imagine it doing well, but I could be wrong.
The internet exploded with the first look.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's saying something, if that's going to mean something. That surprises me, but might also be because I'm not really into sci-fi films.
Yeah.
Really breaking new walls, having family-friendly sci-fi films being a good thing. Truly, right?
Yes.
So all you screenwriters out there. Some additional film news is that the live-action Cinderella spin-off Stepsisters found their director, who is Akiva Schaffer, who directed Naked Gun. There's no official release date, but it's a live-action comedy about the evil stepsisters who abused Cinderella and got theirs when her foot fit the slipper.
QET Signs. Yeah, right. Signs is definitely uplifting.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's
taught us to hydrate.
Signs, the family-friendly film. I finally felt seen as an asthmatic. I was like, oh my gosh, look, I've never seen albuterol on the big screen. Oh,
the new Naked Gun is so good.
It's fantastic.
Just, you can't hope it's going to be anything more than exactly what it is.
Truly.
Just allow yourself to, which is just a good thing for filmmaking in general.
Yeah. Trailer drop for Apex, featuring Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton. This is following a rock climber and adventurer who travels to the Australian wilderness to seek peace, and yet this serial killer is hunting her.
You know, she does all of her stunts.
You know it. April 24th on Netflix is when that drops. All right.
It's time.
So our two controversial topics for today, Sora and the Warner Brothers deal, because the vote happened. All right. let's get into this. Yesterday late in the day, mind you. Wait, what? Are we going to discuss the Stephen Colbert and Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movie collab? I did not even see that. So I'm behind on that and I will need to catch up. So the answer is no, we will not be talking about that, mostly because I did not see that. That's have to circle in on that.
Those are choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Decisions were made.
Right.
Let's talk about Sora.
Sora
is OpenAI's video generator. On March 24th, OpenAI announced that Sora AI video app and API will be shutting down. Here's their official statement. Quote, "We're saying goodbye to Sora," end quote. The company posted, quote, "To everyone who created with Sora, shared it, and built community around it. Thank you. What you made with Sora mattered, and we know this news is disappointing." End quote. Video generation will still be available within ChatGPT, but not through a standalone app. And as far as a historical context, OpenAI released Sora in September of 2025 as an attempt to capture the short form video market, an AI first TikTok where you could generate videos from text prompts. OpenAI will continue to use the underlying, quote, world simulation, end quote, technology for robotics and other AI developments. I want to just jump back to the second to last paragraph. What I found out is that OpenAI's bet on Sora was that it was going to become a standalone app similar to TikTok or Instagram, where users would have daily habits integrated into, like, it would just become a normal social media platform that they would be using on a daily basis. And based on these numbers, the app peaked in November of 2025. Reminder, it only dropped in September. So it peaked November 2025 with 3.3 million downloads. And by February, that had dropped to 1.1 million. In its lifetime, it made about 2.1 million from in-app purchases, which was not enough for OpenAI, as they've been operating at a loss with having to generate high quality video.
It is 100% expensive. Horrifying. Yes.
Yes. Long pause on that. Disappointing. I'm sorry, but that's so horrifying, isn't it? It's really been fascinating. So each Sora video consumed significant GPU resources that could be used for more profitable services like ChatGPT or enterprise AI. Competitors focusing on coding and enterprise use cases have seen stronger revenue growth, which influenced OpenAI's direction to shut down Sora.
As far as usefulness goes, people seem to enjoy using Claude stuff more. Yeah, I think I can't imagine Sora being a standalone app just because nobody would, and I don't want to say nobody, I'm sure people would, but I can't imagine a social media platform where people actively choose to go over and just consume AI slop and that's all they're getting. Or that's the only thing that people are creating, because you have to just keep creating that, whereas people more just like consuming, and that would be the thing they consume. I just don't see that being a crossover. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me that being a standalone didn't work. Or potentially this is finally where big tech companies and our, as the general public, best interest align, where we're like, please do not do generative AI the way that you're doing it. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating. So Disney had signed a $1 billion deal with them in December, which was a 3-year licensing agreement where Sora users and Sora could generate videos using over 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters, with Disney Plus having planned to add a curated selection of Sora-generated videos. Disney ended its partnership entirely, which meant that they pulled back that $1 billion investment in OpenAI.
I think it's just fascinating, the sentiment difference of different types of companies' thoughts on the application of AI. For me, I'm just constantly flabbergasted that there is no profitability in sight, and you are continuing to full steam ahead and try to integrate it everywhere. It's a choice. Yeah.
Totally. So what does this mean? And this is just really, really quick anecdotal, because we really could spend hours talking about this. With the biggest consumer AI video platform folding, a couple insights is that, one, the deep fake and IP liability problem is genuinely unsolvable at scale right now. So some of the insider reports that I was reading was saying that for Disney to move forward with that partnership, there were certain things that needed to happen, and they're not happening. And having that insight, we've had about 3 months since the deal was signed, that we are not moving closer to that benchmark. That was a nail in the coffin.
And we don't know what those benchmarks were.
We don't, publicly, we do not know. Off record, we do not know. On record, we don't know. Wade, exactly. Another issue is that consumer appetite for an AI TikTok model isn't there, which is positive. And I wonder if this is going to lead to a decline in the generative AI videos that are being put up on YouTube and other social media platforms. So that's going to be fascinating. Also, that the potential focus of AI could be in productivity tools, which is what we've all been saying, to stay away from the arts. But is this a potential eye-opener, as you're saying, Wade, for what is to come in the future from companies like OpenAI? I understand to be a money move and getting fiscally ready for the upcoming IPO. And then Jacob said, it should clarify the resident mod. My opinions are not on behalf of Adobe. Yeah,
of course.
Same.
Nor ours.
Our opinions are also not on behalf of Adobe. We are simply just creatives who received this news and are reacting to it.
And are commentating, yes.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to bash, I think just the difference between Sora wanting to generate and consume Adobe versus Adobe wanting to focus more on tool usage and improvement is like very jarring. I wish more companies would listen to the people. I agree.
Yeah.
I do think as a society, we are now at a point where companies are telling you what you want. And very much like social media, it's like kind of getting you addicted to the product as opposed to listening to you for what you want they're telling you, which is very not what things used to be. It used to be the opposite. So I'm hoping that this is a shift back where people are actually listening. And I will say, Adobe does listen to their community very much. They are constantly asking for feedback. They ask Ashleigh and I all the time. So they're very interested in what people think of their products, and they will make changes when people are loud enough. And the Adobe community, thankfully, is very loud. All that to say.
Yeah, and for indie filmmakers watching and keeping tabs on what's going on, we think that the tools that will survive will likely be the ones integrated into professional workflows, not the standalone social apps. So, for example, generative extend and text editing, like all of the stuff that's in Premiere and will continue to develop in programs like Premiere and Photoshop. Like being able to auto name all of the layers. That is a fantastic use, right? Look at Adobe Animate. No, right? For those of you that don't know, Adobe announced that Adobe Animate was shutting down. There was so many voices online that were like, no. And then Adobe's like, okay, just kidding. Our bad. Not doing that anymore.
Which I think Adobe is a different platform than, let's say, Instagram, Facebook, because while they're free, your data is the thing that you're paying with. But people are actually paying to use Adobe products. So we have way more of a say because we have financial skin in the game.
That's right. Okay. Does anyone want to share any other lasting thoughts on Sora?
I'm thankful that this happened. And like I said, it could be either that our best interests and Disney's are aligning in some strange way, or this could be an indicator of something larger that is far more harrowing. And I'm not sure which, but for now, I'm glad that this will not move forward.
It's fascinating, and I agree with you, Wade. I think that this is indicating a pull for resources for an IPO launch. Santa Fe audiovisual, I will not miss it.
No.
All right. And my final piece of news. We've been keeping you updated with this Warner Brother, Discovery, Paramount situation.
This little thing that's happening.
For those of you that don't know, Paramount Skydance is acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery in a landmark transaction valued at approximately $111 billion, one of the largest mergers in media history. There was a vote with shareholders on March 20th, which was last Friday, and it passed.
Of course it passed.
The deal has been unanimously approved by both boards. The DOJ has cleared the federal antitrust hurdle, and market analysts were pricing in a very high probability of approval. The definitive merger agreement was signed February 27th, and the vote was the final major shareholder milestone needed to move towards closing. Now, that doesn't mean that we're all clear, because California has to clear this deal as well. So the California Attorney General, Rob Bonta, told Deadline this week that the merger has, quote, many regulatory hurdles, quote, still to cross, citing concerns about increased prices, lower wages, reduced competition, and limits in consumer choice. And a coalition of public interest groups led by the Center for American Progress Action Fund also sent a letter this week to California's Attorney General and other state AGs, calling on them to challenge the merger, arguing it would reduce major film studios from 5 to 4 and create a, quote, more concentrated market, end quote. What that means is that there will be less movies being made, because the reason that we see a selection of films, especially at box office, that compete with one another is because these studios are banking on there being other films for you to see so that their film can beat out that other film. And by going down from 5 to 4 and then also prioritizing the streaming side, we're losing one whole studio. We're losing 20% of that. And we don't know beyond 2030 what those implications are going to be, because the slate that Paramount has agreed to pick up is only through 2030.
They're just pushing people towards social media to consume different types of content. That's what they're doing.
Sure.
Whether intentionally or unintentionally. It's just like, oh my gosh, guys.
So the hurdles up ahead is our state level opposition, particularly in California, where both studios are based. And this is the remaining wild card that could force divestitures or delay the closing past the September 30th deadline. If the merger closes as expected in Q3 of 2026, September 30th, the combined company would then need to reconcile the two different corporate cultures, merge Paramount Plus with HBO Max into a single tech stack, so that would be one streaming platform, and find $6 billion in, quote, synergies, which most in the industry expect to mean significant layoffs.
Cute.
So that's fun.
Super fun. Honestly, I'm so happy to support this through my subscription. The learning I get is priceless, and it's a privilege to stay connected with such inspiring people like yourselves. Spellfree, that's very kind.
Thank you.
And are you an editor, or which part of the Adobe ecosystem do you find yourself in? Did you at least get a chance to check out that Robin Williams movie?
We have not. It's
Not
on
yet.
our list. We have not had a chance to watch a lot of TV. We've been doing a lot of spring cleaning, so a lot of offline work.
Lots.
But
Yes.
it is on our list, and it is near the top of our list.
Yes.
And Santa Fe, fewer people having to compete against one another in each genre. That's right. That's right. So this is very fascinating. I'm surprised at how fast everything has moved forward. And so while September 30th feels really far away, there are a lot of hurdles that need to happen before this successfully passes. So that gives me a little bit of hope.
I think California will probably push back on that.
Yeah,
I'm hoping California will push back on that.
I really hope so. So this is really interesting news to be grappling with as filmmakers. Not only that, but then also the Sora news. So I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. I saw this morning that the New York Times released an article talking about what this could mean for OpenAI and what this is going to mean for creatives. And I think we're already seeing some of the effects of it over on YouTube. With this morning, there was a mass reporting of AI generated content and AI generated channels. So I wonder if people are over it and are fighting back, and we're going to see a return to some more traditional storytelling.
I hope so. Maybe AI has been subjected to everyone's attention spans. And since the attention spans are so short, we're just over it, on to the next thing.
Yeah, I saw something interesting where someone was talking about the allure of AI is like a 5-year-old attention span, that you generate one really funny video and then it's kind of like done. You've like played with the shiny toy and now you're ready to move on to something cooler.
Right.
And that's
it
why
doesn't mean anything.
It's not really keeping anyone's attention span. So very interesting things here.
Yeah.
And would love to hear your thoughts. If you have thoughts on this merger, if you have thoughts about Sora. We were going to talk more about it and promote the show a little bit more, but I just didn't want a barrage of tech bros getting mad at me for just stating the facts of the situation.
Well, yeah, they don't like those. To return to original content, I mean, I certainly hope so. And I think YouTube's pushback on demonetizing AI-generated channels was a huge step as well, because where is the incentive to make money on AI-generated stuff?
Yeah.
It's not going to fix the problem, and Sora going away isn't going to fix the problem, but it does create barriers of entry that someone, if it's not as easily accessible to just do something really quick, they're probably, like, if it takes more than 2 steps, they're probably going to get bored or just have zero interest.
Facts have feelings too.
They do, and they should have really big ones.
They do. All right. Chat question 2. What actor or actress plays themselves in every movie?
I think you and I have the same one immediately.
Yes. They cleared the hurdle by standing on a 20-foot wall of cash-filled suitcases. That's right, Uma.
Yep.
And then it was kind of like an Oprah giveaway. You get a suitcase. You get a suitcase.
Everyone gets a suitcase. But yeah, tell us what you think.
So when we ask this question, we're like, okay, if you're going to see a movie and this actor is in it, they're playing themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes. Some of them have...
Ooh, Michael Cera's great.
Ascended from this. Jonah Hill, I would say, is one who's ascended. He plays many different things now, which is great. Michael Cera is a great one.
That's fantastic.
Ryan Reynolds is Ashleigh Nyes. Yes.
Bird Brains, same.
That's correct. Yeah.
I see Ryan Reynolds is a part of anything, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Christopher Walken. Oh, that's interesting.
You know what? I can see that.
Do y'all know what that AI company is that Netflix brought that Affleck is the face of? Or what? I don't. Seth Rogen. Okay.
That's great.
He has done some dramatic stuff, but yeah, any comedy is pretty linear. Yes.
I'm not familiar with what the AI company that Netflix bought that Affleck is the face of, but I have seen that Affleck is really media trained on speaking about AI. So that's an interesting anecdote. I also heard a very hot take that the reason that Netflix was so in on the deal, and this is all off the record, this is just speculation that I was reading from a lot of different industry insiders, that Netflix's vested interests was specifically in Warner Brothers catalog, because then if they owned Warner Brothers back catalog, they could run all of that stuff through AI.
Oh,
and then they could train that on their models. So Arco, that's where those two worlds collide.
Oy.
Yeah.
Wait, Christopher Walken had a cameo in Dune?
What?
I did not know that. Paris Hilton counts. I think that counts. Yeah.
Annoyed Flamingo, I'm not familiar with who that is off the top.
No, I'm not either.
I guess more so that it's always his brand. I think that's the great personality.
Yeah, that's fair. I know they bought it, but it's always vaguely described what it does. Yeah,
makes sense.
They don't want us to know things.
Yeah, so really, really fascinating anecdotes that a lot of people off record are speaking on. So we'll see. He's the god. Oh, wow. But he's only in it for like a moment. That's funny. Dune.
There's an actor that I'm thinking of that I cannot think of his name. Also, I'm just now realizing no one said any women.
Yeah, because women are completely original.
Okay. All right. So wait, Jack Nicholson doesn't play characters. Characters play Jack Nicholson. He's always 100% himself, and I love that consistency.
I love her, but Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, don't love her, but she's also just like the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
The same.
Which is why or where I think typecasting really hurts actors in the long run, because that's what you get. You just play the same. You play yourself. Okay, so we're going to be talking about templates in Premiere. If you have not used templates, I highly recommend them. In the time in which Ashleigh and I have been doing this show, we've talked, if you want to jump over, you're more than welcome. We talked about how we build projects, what the process looks like. Are we doing that fun thing again where it doesn't come in? He brings such a flavor to every role. We love when flavor is added. Donnie Boy always plays himself. So do we think that we need to give these people different roles, or do we think that they're just in it and they're getting casted to play themselves? And that's because I think that is a lane. It's kind of like if you're a commercial actor, or if you're only in Hallmark movies, you're a Hallmark actor. There's kind of like the formula in which you exist in film. So maybe playing yourself is the way to do that. Is like another lane. Are we good? Cool. Thank you. Okay, jumping back into templates. So we have set up projects before, and we've got our footage.
Wait 1 second. You have a whole slide here.
Oh, you're right.
Why you use templates.
Ha 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 ha. Okay, templates and why we use them. They streamline the workflow. They save you time. They reduce friction. And I will show you why they do that. Organization before you even start, and they allow you to have faster editing, which is very important when you are working in any lane, or if you are just constantly producing things and you need to get those edits out quick. Templates are going to be your best friend.
That's right.
Yes. So let's jump into Premiere. And when Ashleigh and I have set up a project, which we've done on this show before, we have all of our bins clearly organized, and we've got our scene 1, scene 2, 1A, and all of these fun things. And this is where our footage will populate. But right now we don't have anything in it, but this is the general structure of what our template will look like. So how do we create one of these? Essentially, we're going to just be bringing all of these folders in. So every time I create a new project, I select a template, and then it's like, poof, it just has all of these folders, and I don't have to name them. I don't have to worry about reorganizing them. I don't have to make them as I go, which you have seen me make them as we go, which was in prep for this to make life easier. Okay. So we are going to create a new project. Oh my
File God. New?
Ha, Ryan. New project. And this is where it will be. So if we have any templates, I'm not going to create a project yet. I'm going to show you. But let's pretend we're starting from scratch. We've opened Premiere. And there's this template portion right here.
Hi, Uma.
Hi, Uma. Welcome in. And I'm going to click this drop-down arrow. These are where all of the templates that Adobe already has exist. And I'm going to show you what they look like. But you would select any of them that you want and then click Create. I've already done this, so we don't need to worry about this. So I'm going to click Cancel. And just to show you what they look like. So this is their social media template, and I love this so much. So they have all of the sequences already built for you of what you could possibly need, which is fantastic. So they have one for YouTube Shorts, and they even have the guides here. So they show you exactly what it looks like on mobile, where the buttons are.
Love.
Yes, it's incredible. Let's see, Instagram Reels. So they show you all the safety zones of where things exist and where you're primed to put information or where you shouldn't, which I think is immensely helpful if you are not editing on your phone. So if you're editing in Premiere, this is already set for you.
Good for you if you're editing on your phone.
I have to do it sometimes, and I hate it every time. Then there's also caption styles, bold captions or subtle captions. So they have a couple of different options, which is really nice. Then they have their standard template, which is, I love that they have this one sequence for 1080, one for 4K. This is something that I have incorporated into our templates. And if you are going to make a new template, let's say you've already built one and you have these open, you're like, oh, I like this idea as a folder. I like this sequence. I like that one too. You can just copy and paste them into your project over here and say, oh, I want to put those right there, let's say.
Tim Curry is another good one.
Womp. And then now they're there. Okay. So that's what they look like, and that's how we start. But to build one, we start a new project, and we don't have any of these folders. You have to build them yourself. So what I do, oh my goodness, here's my calendar. That's fun. What I'm going to do is I have everything built right here, depending on what it is. So a music video will have different things that we need that maybe we don't need for a short film, and I need to go in and make sure that this is super condensed to work for the different type of projects that we have. We're going to make one for a vlog. But I have day one. I know that we immediately work with 3 different cameras all the time, depending on how fast we're moving. So one for Ashleigh, one for me, and one for the DJI, which is usually what we use. And we're normally at a convention or something for 5 days max that we're at least documenting it. These can all be edited, which I will show you how to do that at the end if I have time. Then we have one for music and transitions, any sort of motion graphics, fonts, all of our exports. You want to make them as specific as possible, very similar to the structure that Ashleigh showed you when we were doing an import for a project. It's like your project files, your archives, your color grades, your exports that you have all in your Finder. You have to do the same thing when you create a template. Just to make your life easier, try to create as many bins as you think you're going to need, as in-depth as you think you're going to need them. So once we have all of these built, we go into Premiere and we can just drag and drop them. So that's what I did for our short film. I have all of them built here. So footage, scene 1, 1A1, and I'm just guessing, but it at least gives me some sort of something to get me started, that I don't have to sit and build these as I go. Okay, so once I have all of this built, actually, no, we're gonna build one for a vlog. So new project, we're gonna call this vlog template, and I'm gonna say none because I don't want that. All right, create, and now I'm gonna go, whoops, we don't want that.
Courtney started using a computer yesterday.
I did. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to drag and drop this with the way this is screen sharing right now. So let me try. Did it do it? Hold on.
Well, you're in full screen for Premiere. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So just get out of full screen.
See, it's still good. I think it's the way that it's sharing my screen.
But it's just sharing your screen.
No, I know, but I just got out of full screen and it's still, okay, here we go. Computer yesterday. All right, so I want to drop all this. Now it has everything populated for me, which is fabulous. And like I said, if we're going to go in, let's close these out because we don't need these. YouTube Shorts. I already have everything built for my vlog, and maybe I want it to be 1080. I want my sequence to be 1080. So I know that I already have access to this by doing my standard template. So I can just take this, because I don't know if they'll have it. So let's start here. We always like to work vertical at the very end. We always love filming everything horizontal, and that's where we start. So I'm going to select this as our sequence. And then if I want to do any other sort of project creation within this template, now is the time to do it. Being, if I want to set any of my color management, I would do that in here. Because this is a vlog, I'm just going to leave everything as is. But if I were in a short film template, let's say, then I would want to go to my sequence settings, color management, and we talked about this before as well. We always want to go to wide gamut tone mapped, just essentially create the project as if that's what you were intending to make in the first place, but you're not going to actually end up doing anything. Okay, so then once we've done this and we want to add any extra media into our template, which is going to be our vlog template here, I know that one of the things that Ashleigh and I use all the time is we're always using Artlist, any sort of music that is free for us to use that we won't get yelled at. Now, where does this exist? I could spend the time where I am constantly dragging a YouTube bumper, or I am dragging all of the music in and trying to find it on my computer. We're not going to do any of that because that's going to take too much time. So we're going to go into Window and Libraries. I don't want it to populate here. I want it to be over here. Okay. Now that I have all of this, I can very easily drag it into my project. So let's see, let's resize this. Right now, the library that I'm in is MAP, which we don't want, but you'll see up here if you have different libraries or if you've used Adobe Express, any of your libraries are going to populate here, which is absolutely fantastic.
So where's this content from libraries? Did you load it into Premiere?
So this is populated from Adobe Express, but I can create a new library within Premiere and then just start dragging assets into things.
So on Adobe Express, you can create your library and it will show up in Premiere.
It will show up everywhere.
That's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. So if I took the time to build all of this, so CA, we have different fonts that we use. Look, our YouTube bumper is already there.
Wow.
It's already in our library for us.
Y'all, did you know this? I didn't know this.
So we're going to right click, add to project. And now there she is. And I don't ever have to worry about Ashleigh not having the right asset, me not having the right asset. I'm going to go back and show you something as well. So Miss Ash Productions, I've put our black bars for, no.
Well, had that coming.
I did. Right click, add to project. Our black bars are already ready, which is incredible. I also have sample end credits. So if we need to just pop that in really quick, we can do that. Just building as much as you can in your library is going to make your template so much easier.
Quick question.
To populate information. Yes.
Do you have to be connected to the internet to be able to access these?
I think with this you would.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's something to note, is that this isn't localized, so that you do need to have a internet connection to be able to access libraries.
Yes, because this is all
from Adobe Express.
Right. Okay. So we have all of our music, like just different vlog music, add a project. And then let's see if it added it here. No. I can drag and drop into the music folder, which it's not showing up right now. That's fun. But all of our music will populate here when it decides to be with us. But anyway, that's where you will find it. And so it's nice to have all of your video or anything that you use all the time, any transitions that you use, you'll just drag them into your library folder and then you'll be able to populate this as best you can. And then once we are done with this, we want to save the project because right now it's taken our original template, but it hasn't, well, save your project first. And as soon as you populate things, make sure you save it. And once we do that, then we're going to File, Save as Template, and we're going to call it our vlog template. So now we have that saved, which is fab. And then we're going to go to File, New Project. Let's see if it will populate this without me having to open Premiere again. Vlog template and vlog template 1. So those are all of my templates. And if you need to find out where these are saved, you can go to Open Templates folder and it will show you where they are in the Finder or whichever computer that you're using, which is very nice because you'll need to access them if you want to edit them again. So if I did want to edit any of this stuff again, then I would just reopen the project as I've already done, make any sort of changes. And this is not just about bins and creating bins. You can set sequence settings, you can create nested sequences, you can make this as absolutely in-depth as you want. Like I could, if I'm doing a music video, I could make my multicam sequence already set. I could already have as many video tracks and as many audio tracks as I think I could possibly need. At max, I think I've had 19 video tracks and 19 audio tracks. I could already have that pre-done. Yes, it makes it so much easier, which we love.
It's almost like meal prep. Meal prep for editing. You're making a plan and you are using where you want your gains to be to build out a more robust system. Love it.
Yes, exactly. The part that I found the most helpful, on top of just having a template in general, If you do accidentally click the wrong template, just delete the project and start again. I have not seen, and if there is anyone who knows, please let me know. But as far as I know, there is no way to reset a template within a project that you've already created, so you'd have to start over. But it's a really, really great way to just start. And we can also go into our motion library. Let's see, what else do we have? Graphics, templates. This is where I was looking for cast or any sort of end credits, and I had asked Ashleigh earlier if she used any sort of template or anything like motion graphics with text to build those, but for our music videos they're a little bit more nuanced than that. But yeah, anything you can add to your library to make your life easier. Any sort of text that you need can also be added. I love the fact that the colors are there, and then as soon as you update any of this, whether it's in Premiere, whether it's in Adobe Express, it will save those changes and it will repopulate.
Love that.
Yes. So when we're starting a short film and we are 20 scenes deep, I might end up making something that is more like, let's go to our short film template. So yeah, all of our final exports, we do effects sometimes before color. It really depends. And you can just feel free to delete these if you don't need them. We've got one for our bum. We've got our map logo on our bumper, so we never have to worry about adding that ever again. Any adjustment layers, like I said, as nuanced as you can make this is going to be your friend.
Yeah, this is basically creating better storage for yourself, that instead of just opening up your silverware drawer and having everything everywhere, you're putting them in little compartments so that you can come back into your project, or another editor can pick up your project, or you 2 years later can pick up this project and say, oh, for sure, I know that I need to go to a final export, or I need to go into this particular sequence, and you don't have to search everything to find it. It's under sequences. So better organization leads to better workflows.
And especially if we're going to be doing, so let's see, let's go to our social media, or a vlog template, or maybe even a YouTube cover. You want to have your sequences in a different folder. So I could do one sequence per song and have its own folder for that. The motion graphics is great. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions about templates, or have I explained this properly in the very short amount of time that I've had? Does it make sense?
It's 20 minutes.
Oh, but I mean, still, I could have gone so in depth. But yeah, does this make sense? And the need for these, I will never work without them. Oh, and then when you are, let's get out of main screen for this. When Photoshop's upset. Once you have all of these built, you don't need to keep them. This is just for you to kind of spitball before you drag it into Premiere. Anything after this that has already been brought into Premiere, you just reopen the project file. And here, I'll show you where to do that. This is where all of them will populate, and then you can see the file structure to get here. But you just reopen it, make your changes, save again, and then the next time you open it will populate, which is good to be able to edit in real time, but also just have it be evergreen as you go.
Love.
Explained it well. Okay, good. Whew.
You did a great job, champ.
I think our lives will change with these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things about this show, thank you so much, Coat.
Yes, of course.
One of the coolest things about this show is learning what these tools all do and figuring out how they can work into all of our workflows, because in the creative field, there's a lot of crossover across all of the different disciplines. So organization has been really, really big for us in our outside offline lives. And it's really cool to see our edits and our organization skills get better with things like templates.
Yes.
Yeah.
So highly recommend, if you want to pre-build them yourself. I will just say one thing, that if you're in Premiere and you decide to start building your bins that way, you're going to have a hard time making sure that they are organized properly. Like if you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, you got to start paying attention to how you add them and which order you add them. And it just makes it really complicated. So if you can build one by yourself, or even not necessarily have a template, but just create the folder structure outside and say, okay, I know I need all of these in this order, and then drag that in, that will help as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing what organization can do.
Truly. Jacob, thank you. Amazing work today. Loved all the conversations. Can't wait for next week. Likewise, we hope that more of you get the opportunity to see Project Hail Mary in theaters, maybe in IMAX. Umo, thank you so much. And thank you for the good tips once more. Appreciate you being here. Uma, thank you. Santa Fe Audiovisual. It is amazing what organization can do. We will be back celebrating April Fools. Does one celebrate April Fools? But this isn't an April Fool. We will be streaming on April 1st, next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific. It will be episode 4 of the Cinema Collective. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? And please go check out the Adobe Live Discord. Join under active shows. Check out CA in LA. And nothing big, forward. Just something that you're looking forward.
Tell us something you're looking forward to is what we want.
Yeah. Poet, a huge thank you to Courtney and Ashleigh. You guys provide the best direction and advice ever. I feel so lucky to be learning from such talented mentors.
Oh, we're so glad.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Thanks for a lovely overview of the industry and showing us the templates. Always appreciate you. Appreciate you. Goodbye. I'm Ashleigh. This is Courtney. Jacob Wade, thank you so much for being our lovely mods. It's already been an hour. Isn't that crazy? I know, it flies, truly.
It really does.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It really means the world. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure that you subscribe to Adobe Live. Hit that like button underneath this video. Feel free to comment if you can. But I'm Ashleigh, Courtney, CA in LA. We stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays. We'll be live tonight on Twitch at 7 p.m. And please stop by. We also have music on all the musics.
Yes.
We're musicians. We're re-releasing our studio album later on this year, and we're filmmakers. And you can find our work over on Miss Ash Productions
everywhere,
or CA in LA. Thank you so much, Adobe, for having us. We will see you next Wednesday. Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Please stay hydrated.
Bye.